I'd like to say something about pre-existence. In my opinion, everybody pre-exists. You can have your opinion, but that's mine. And I tell you why I have that opinion. In Hebrews chapter 7, verse 9 and 10, it says that Levi pre-existed in Abraham as Abraham, apparently. Because it says that Levi was in the loins of Abraham, and that in some way Levi paid tithes to Melchizedek through Abraham because he was still in his loins. And I would assume that means because he was in Abraham as Abraham. So when we go to Jesus, when Trinitarian apologists say the Trinity is true, one of the first things they will say when you deny that, they will say, well, did Jesus pre-exist or not? And I would say, according to the church and the hypostatic union, Jesus even pre-existed in two ways. He pre-existed. I mean, it depends a little bit upon which theologian you go to. But if you go to John MacArthur, Jesus pre-existed as a human nature up until his 9th month in the womb. And then when he was born, God, the Son, the Logos, came down to join himself up with him. That's one version from 1970 in Why Was Jesus Born? And it actually shows that this is this Cerinthian Gnostic idea that the Christ joins up with Jesus. Kind of adoptionistic in a sense. I mean, some Trinitarians might deny that and say, well, he wasn't two persons afterwards. Well, yeah, but he has two origins. He pre-existed in two ways. For the Unitarians, Jesus pre-existed as Mary. Let that sink in. He pre-existed as Mary, and there's nothing else. God just kind of allowed Jesus to be grown out of the flesh of her womb. He caused him to start existing, kind of like that. And of course, the Trinitarian kind of pre-existence would say, well, he pre-existed as a person distinct from God the Father. You know, like they would take these really crazy routes to prove that, usually by making use of references to a certain angel that God picks in Exodus 23:21 to lead the children of Israel through the desert. A certain angel who even prays to God in 2 Samuel 24:16 and Zechariah 1:12. And they can confuse those characters. It's kind of interesting. And then they say, well, Jesus pre-existed as this guy, which is false, because Jesus was also in the loins of his Father, which means Jesus pre-existed as God, even though he wasn't God. He was just the first man who happened to be begotten by God.